Hey guys, Lizzie the Lightworker here. So I'm going to continue in this Scorpio season energy and I'm going to do a twin flame reading for Scorpio. So typically I like to do the male energy and the female energy, and I like to just say, so it helps Scorpio to determine what type of personality the twin flame might have. You could be with your twin flame or haven't even met them yet or met them in the past. So this is going to be for Scorpio. And what energy we get that could determine if it's twin flame or, not, or if you've met or you haven't met. So I'm going to use just my regular tarot. I might pull a couple angel cards, and I might even go with after tarot, but I'll do this, set up the columns. So I'm going to pull for male energy, then we're going to do what they learn from each other, or what they need to work on, or what causes the relationship to have problems, or issues, or one's going to run or one's going to stay, that kind of thing. And then we'll get the female energy and personality and desires sort of thing. Okay, so let's do the male energy. All right, so we got 7 of Swords, 8 of Cups, and the Death card. Okay, whenever major arcana cards come up, they're really to pay attention to. They're more the major life events. Okay, and then we're going to go over here with female energy. Okay, got the Devil, we got the 6 of Coins, and we got the 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, and then we'll leave the middle blank for now because we'll get to that. We'll do what do they learn from each other, and what do they have to work on, or what causes the relationship to have an issue or problem, or if someone has run or they've met. Okay, so the male energy, excuse me, and this counterpart of Scorpio's twin flame. If Scorpio, female, has met a male, and they think it may be their twin flame, or they haven't yet met that twin flame, this is what it would be like. So the male energy and the 7 of Swords would be not the best energy. I'm not going to lie here. 7 of Swords is usually in the deck of tarot not the hottest card for love, because it's usually somebody who has abandonment issues, someone who is a serial cheater, a con man, sort of a thief, sneaky, deceptive, lying, manipulative kind of person. And we don't know what causes this in this energy. They could have had a really tough life. They could have been poor their whole life. They could have turned to criminal activity to suffice for that. They could have maybe had legal troubles or troubles with the law. So in the male energy, that's what this 7 is saying. With the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Cups is about sort of abandoning things. When times get tough, this male energy sort of just bails. They just bail. And they leave stuff behind, and they just keep moving on. They just keep going. They don't necessarily look back and wonder or ponder anything. They just bail out. And at the time, they feel like that's the best thing for them to do. But it has to do with their emotions. They're not in touch with their emotions at all. They're very walled off. They're very flat emotionally. They might even be sort of stoic or have an expressionless sort of face. They might not have the right reactions to the right expressions, if you know what I mean, like sad when they're supposed to be sad, happy when they're supposed to be happy. This is definitely an emotionally disturbed sort of person, someone who's really not in touch with their emotions or what they want out of life. They're just in a bad energy. They're in a bad path. And then the Death card pops up, and that's a signifier for change. And sort of like letting an old ways die. So they may be coming into a time in their life where they're leaving that behind. They're changing, they're transforming, they're evolving. So that's what that's about. And it's also death of the past. So they may be able to leave this part of their self behind. And now when we get into the female energy, when we have the devil to me is always the lovers that were entrapped by temptations and their own, they had to or needed to tame their own beasts. So now they are imprisoned by their own thoughts and their own mental aptitude here. So this female energy, she may have addiction issues. She may have psychological issues. She might be prone to abuse or be abusive. She would be very codependent, live an unhealthy lifestyle, not be able to really decide or ever get her shit together or what kind of path she wants to take in life. She's just hanging on to whatever she's made for herself, and it's not the best. It's not the best life. She has probably had it tough, and this is also in regards to that. So developing things in your life when you've had it tough, you know, sort of like comfort things that are not so good. She could be a little bit manipulative, I would say, feeling like she needs to have the control. This is an awful disillusion, though, because, you know, she feels entrapped by her life and entrapped in her mind and the way she thinks, and she feels like there's no way she could ever change, or it's gotten so bad that there's no way, how would she ever do it? Where would she go? She would need help. She's entrapped by those feelings and those, you know, those ways, and not really good with money. So she wouldn't be someone who saved her money. She would have money troubles. She would do a lot of spending unnecessarily, foolish spending, not saving, not putting it in the bank, not having a bank account. She wouldn't know where her next paycheck was coming from. She would have debts. She would probably take advantage of people and want people to support her, pay for her. She would manipulate them. She would play nice to get what she wanted, and then, you know, sort of just either disappear or, you know, feel like she's entitled to do so. And the Seven of Cups says that she can't make decisions. She's not someone who does well with multiple tasks or multiple decisions she's faced with. She's also in a fantasy world. She can't decide what she wants to do, where, who, with what. She's got all these cups in front of her. They're all filled with different things. Half of them are in her own mind. They're in her head. She's disillusioned by these things. You know, I can give you an example. It's like somebody wants to be a rock star today, a poet tomorrow, a CEO the next day, in the army 3 days from now. They have like a million manifested mind dreams, and not one of them is a good or solid one. One would be better than the other, obviously, but they cannot decide or pinpoint. Their life is very messy. They are very confused a lot of the time, and they don't have direction, self-direction. Okay? So then when we get into the middle part, what do these two learn from each other? What do they need to learn from each other if they met or if they have met? And they definitely, they would have to work on, wow, okay, the way, the possessiveness. Okay, this card is about possessiveness, holding on to things. So because it's pentacles, it's money, but it doesn't always have to be money. It could be emotions and that sort of thing. But they are sort of a miserly or greedy energy. So if they come together, this union comes together, and in the middle, what do they need to learn from each other, or what do they have to work on, or what would cause a split? It would be the way they are both not stable, and they're not stable with their money. And they would have to work on a plan of how they could come together to either build a relationship, work towards the future, put money together to try to build something, or they just would go their separate ways and continue these paths. They will continue the paths that they're on. So if that was going to be what was going to make or break it, this is the singular card that would say it all. Whatever lifestyles they've been holding on to tightly, because that's their comfort, that's all they know, they would have to let that go in order for the relationship to work. They're holding on so tightly to these behaviors that if there was going to be a relationship, or if there is one right now, it's not working. And if there was going to be one, it won't work right now. Their paths need to change in order for them to have the fulfillment of a twin flame relationship. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Scorpio twin flame reading in Scorpio season. Please leave me some comments and like and subscribe, because there's so much more to come. And as always, many, many blessings to you all. This has been Lizzie the Lightworker.